Hi, welcome to my show, Ethical Social Networking, a show designed to swiftly transform this world to a place of peace, joy, and prosperity for all if we would only each get 100 people. Now, how do you get 100 people? Very easily, by getting 10. And those 10 will each get 10. So that's each, your 10 get 10. That's 10, 20, 30, 100. A 1, 10, 100 network is easy to do. For what purpose? For the common good. And the common good includes American renewable energy through economic justice, through economic fairness. And what could be more fairer than not taking a penny away from the people who have all the wealth? See, but how is that going to happen? We have to get Congress, or replace Congress if necessary, to do what? To require the well-off and the rich to invest in American renewable energy, first in their homes, to the top 10% of American households in 2007 had $46 trillion in personal wealth. So they can easily take just 1% of the $46 trillion that they had, or let's say they got only $40 trillion now because of the recession, that's still $400 billion. They made $2.33 trillion over a period of every year for 9 years on average, from 1998 to 2007, according to the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, SCF 2007. Look it up on the internet. Go to page 5 for the wealth data, page 11 for the, page 5 for the income data, 11 for the wealth data, and for the number of households on page 54. That should be in the tables. Complain to them, which I haven't bothered to do. I don't complain. I just promote the positive. So let's unite for the common good, which includes American renewable energy through economic fairness. Don't take a penny away from the rich. Just require them to invest 10% of their pre-tax income. They had $4.6 trillion 2007 income. So just 10% of the pre-tax income before they take deductions would be $460 billion that they could invest in their own houses. There's 11 million houses, homes. They got multiple homes, some of them, so it's even more than that. Let them require them to make their homes to the highest standards, platinum standards. So weatherize their homes. Energy. It's all doable. If we would unite, we could write Schumer, Gillibrand, the rest of the Congress, get them to do something. And then you people who are here from for the UN, the leaders, you can do it in your own country. Require the rich to invest in their own houses, to make them energy independent, to make them solarized, and to invest in renewable energy projects. This money, the projects are yearning for money, and they'd be examples for stopping the ice caps from melting, from stopping the pollution of coal and oil and natural gas. We can leave everything in the ground for the future generations, and we could make all the countries. America could be a shining example of American renewable energy independence, free of fossil fuels totally. It's just a question of putting up the money up front, and the rich have the money. It's such a simple idea. It's not going to happen unless you, parents, get your students to write the Congress, to mobilize themselves into 1-10-100 citizen networks for the common good. Fellowship is the key to team success. Renewable energy is the foundation for the future of today's students. Students can stop the spilling of blood and treasure over oil. The students will mobilize for American renewable energy independence. So you parents out there, I'm going to be talking to you about math and physics and renewable energy so you can educate yourself and educate your students. But I'm going to do that after the presidents and the heads of state go home, which will be after September 30th, when that's the last day they're going to be here discussing these enormous problems that we're facing, like the melting of the ice caps, and the pollution from all this energy. Student teams can get Congress to require the rich to invest 1% of their net worth of $30 trillion, or even $40 trillion on the top 10%. That's $300 billion or $400 billion yearly for the students' future. So you parents out there, mobilize your students, your children. Let's see what's on the other side. Okay, the key, even talking to your students, is not to put pressure on them, but to use a honey tongue yourself. Be an example. Have reason. Fellowship is the key to swiftly improving the educational system and the world. You can have fellowship with your students, and they can have fellowship with other students. Creating fellowship requires that students each help each other, and you could do the same thing with a honey tongue. And be loving. Because if you're not that way, you're not going to have much of an effect on anybody in a positive way. Through fellowship, students can form teams for learning and improving the curriculum. Through effective teams, students can apply the curriculum to help transform the world, to solve real world problems. So let's awaken love. It's call. You can make a 1-10-100 network, so can your students. It's doable if you mobilize your will. Students can mobilize, unite into 1-10-100 citizen fellowship team networks for renewable energy independence through economic fairness, which I've been talking about today. Renewable energy is going to be a $6 trillion business. So students